Hi there, welcome to the channel, or welcome back, and welcome to a very few and far between episode of Hashtag Friday Sews. Hey y'all, thanks so much for stopping in. I'm so thankful that you've chosen to spend your time with me today. It's been a long while since I've done an episode of Friday Sews, and it's really going to be fun to get back to it, at least for this week. And a little bit of housekeeping to get out of the way up front. I recently put a poll out on my community page, and I'm so thankful to those of you who voted. And what I had asked you guys to vote on was what my next project should be. And the only thing I knew for sure was that this was going to be the fabric. This is a beautiful cotton lawn that I got from Marcy Tilton Fabrics. I'll put a link to that in the description below if it's still in stock. The only thing I didn't know was which pattern to make out of this fabric. So the three patterns that I put on the poll were these. And I love all three of these. I've never made any of these. And there was definitely a clear winner as far as the votes went. And it was this Simplicity S9469. I was kind of like turned on to this pattern by T over at Crumpets Tea and Sewing. I'll put a link to her channel below in case you're not aware of her channel. She's awesome. Really good channel. She has made this a couple of times and really likes it. And it was definitely the one that got the most votes, and I was all set to make it. I cut out the tissue pieces. I was ready to start tracing them to make the pattern adjustments. And then at the very last minute, the more I thought about it, I changed my mind. And the reason was that I thought with this fabric here, with so many colors in it, and almost all of the colors in my color palette are in this fabric, I thought that it might be better suited to more of a cardigan, something like this, or an overshirt, where I could wear it with any kind of a top underneath that goes with this. So I changed my mind and used this pattern at the very last minute. And I am going to do a full pattern review on this one. It's Simplicity S8887. And I ended up going with this middle view here, but I did not do that little drawstring or elastic waist there. I will give you all the details on this, how this was to sew this pattern, and show you what this looks like on my next video to come out next week on Tuesday. But suffice to say, I'm happy with it. I'm glad that I made the last minute switch, and stay tuned and I'll show you how it looks on and give you a pattern review. And I did finish that up this week, so that's pretty much the only finish that I had in my sewing life. I did go ahead and start my next project, which I'll show you. And oddly enough, this was intended to be one of the pieces in my capsule wardrobe that I kind of abandoned after making 7 of the 10 pieces. But as I was kind of looking through my patterns and fabrics, I decided I wanted to go ahead and make this, and it'll still be part of the capsule, although I'm not getting like back on that capsule train. I'm gonna make this one, and then that's probably it for the capsule. It's just coincidental. I thought that this would make a nice fall and winter top, so that's kind of why I went back to it. I'm gonna do this middle one here, the long sleeve turtleneck, and I am using this, bring this in a little closer. It's a rib knit. I hope the ribs are showing up. It is a double brushed poly spandex rib knit that I got from Stone Mountain and Daughter, and in the color wine. I'll see if this is still available too, and if it is, I'll put a link to the fabric in the description. I was not really sure if I had enough of this to make this version here. So I went ahead, I pre-washed the fabric in case there was any shrinkage, and which I didn't expect there to be given that it's a polyester spandex. And then I laid it all out on my cutting table and put the pieces out, and I had like just enough. So I'm in the middle of cutting out the pieces now on this. And I think it's going to do really well. This is a pretty nice fabric. And in case I didn't say it, this is McCall's M6796. I will probably do a pattern review on this once I finish up this project. This was published in 2013, so I don't know if it's still available. I'm sure you can find it on Etsy and eBay. And I'm pretty sure that I got this on Etsy or eBay. I didn't buy this new, which is too bad because I probably could have got it for $1.99. And the only other thing that has happened in my sewing room this week was that I got new lighting. I have, like, up on the ceiling, it's a ceiling fan light combination fixture, and it has 4 bulbs in it, like 4 globes, I guess you would say. And previously I had some compact fluorescent bulbs in there since, like, for 10 years probably. And when I first did my room after moving in, it looked a lot different than it does now, as I keep evolving it as the years go by. But back then I wanted like a soft white, a warm white kind of color to the room just because it felt more cozy. But as I've really gotten back into more and more sewing, it really wasn't bright enough. It was yellowy, which definitely is warmer and cozier, but for sewing, it just wasn't the best, or any kind of like task or workshop environment. So I traded them out for some, I think they're daylight bulbs. They're LEDs. I'll put a link to them below. I've just got them on Amazon, but in case you're interested. But the light in here now is like, bam. I mean, it is so bright, but it's not, harsh and glaring. It's like daylight. It's like a true light that gives true color representation, which is what I wanted. And it was one of you guys who suggested I swap out to these bulbs. I don't know if you're comfortable me saying your name or not. So just suffice to say, it was one of my dear viewers that suggested these light bulbs, and I'm so thankful. They are so good. And that's about it in my sewing world for this past week. And in life, we are gearing up for Thanksgiving, the U.S. holiday of Thanksgiving, which is happening next Thursday. And at our house, we do our big Thanksgiving meal always on the Saturday after Thanksgiving. That's because on Thanksgiving Day, we could be running around to a couple of places. It just depends on who's hosting. So we always do a big dinner here and invite all of our family, some of our friends, coworkers, things like that. And it could be small, like we've had as few as maybe 12 or 13 people and as many as 25 or 30. So it just totally depends, and it changes from year to year on who else is doing what and going where and what their plan looks like. So we're kind of gearing up for that. And we always seem to find, like my husband and I, when I say we, that we usually end up doing some big project to the house, like leading up to Thanksgiving. It's kind of our incentive to do a big project and like improve or upgrade our house a little bit. So this year we are putting tile up on our kitchen backsplash. We had a new countertop put in over the summer, and now we just need to get the back wall tiled. We've never done this before, so we've been watching a lot of YouTube videos on how to, and reading as many articles and helpful hints as we can find. And we are starting that tomorrow. It'll be Friday, the day that the video is posted. So if you're watching this on Friday, the day it comes out, wish us luck, because we are going to be like hard and fast up to our elbows in tile mortar and grout. And I feel like we're pretty prepared just because we did put so much time into learning, doing all the prep work to set ourselves up for the best possible result. I'll show pictures once we're done. Like, no matter how it ends up coming out, I'll put some pictures onto one of my coming videos so you guys can see how it turned out. But fingers are crossed. I'm sure it's going to be fine. And that's probably about it. Like I mentioned, next week, tune back in for the full pattern review of my simplicity. And I'll be happy to share that with you guys. And one thing too, while we're on the topic, I find that this, with all the nice colors, goes really well with this particular skirt that I made for my capsule. And it also goes with this little short Love Notions glissando skirt that I made earlier this year. that's kind of what I was talking about with all the colors, that it goes so well with so many things. I didn't want to lock myself into just a top. So with the topper, I can make it go with a lot more things and a shirt underneath of it and so forth. So pretty happy that I made that switch. So before I sign off, I wanted to give you guys a heads up about something that's coming soon on the channel. In December, next month, it'll be my 2-year anniversary on YouTube for this channel. And I just wanted to say a big giant thank you to all of you guys who have hung out with me, given me helpful hints and tips, and vice versa about all the projects that we've all worked on, and liked, shared, commented, subscribed. It means the world to me. It's the only reason I do the channel. It wouldn't be any fun if there weren't you guys watching and interacting, commenting. I love being able to converse with you guys in the comments. It's what makes this channel fun for me. And to honor that and to just pay some respect to all of you guys, I'm planning to do something really fun for the 2-year anniversary. I'll give more details about it in a couple of weeks, but I'm going to do a giveaway. And then I've also got something kind of big that's planned for the channel. I haven't fleshed it all out yet, so I don't want to talk too much about it. So stay tuned on that. Let me know what you guys are working on this weekend. Are you getting any sewing done? What projects do you have going on? Either way, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I greatly appreciate it, and hope that you guys all have a fantastic weekend. Bye.